Hey, enablers, it's me. Welcome to this week's edition of Sales Enablement Straight Talk. Today, I want to talk about measurement strategies for validating training adoption, especially when it applies to implementing a sales methodology. In our ever changing landscape of commercial effectiveness, achieving sales growth isn't just about the end result. I know that sounds like heresy because I always emphasize making an impact with enablement. But stick with me, I actually have a point here. Improvements in results, especially if you're measuring pre and post training or supporting and evaluating a sales methodology implementation, can occur for a variety of reasons. This is especially true if your sales cycles are longer and you're measuring for months, which is likely with a full methodology adoption. So, if you want to correlate and provide evidence, not absolute proof, mind you, but credible evidence that the improvement is due to your efforts, or equally as important, if you need to diagnose where breakdowns have occurred so you can address them and adjust your plan to get the results you want, it comes down to equipping sellers with the skills that they need to excel and then ensuring those skills are not only used, meaning getting them to do the right activities, but also used well, meaning the methodology and the quality of those activities. And all of this, as you might imagine, requires an intelligent measurement strategy. The most concerning risk in doing all of this might be the potential damage to your credibility with your senior sales leader and executive team if you try to claim victory for improved results without a believable data backed story that provides solid evidence for your claims. That's why this is so important. This is why I recommend a framework for fostering and measuring adoption that I call the 5 stages of sales mastery and behavior change. Those 5 stages are learn, remember, practice, apply, and master. I'll provide a high level overview in this video, but this week's newsletter will have a lot more detail that is best presented in that format, especially all the methods for validating each stage. I'll drop the link to the newsletter in the video description, as always. So, the 5 stages are like a chain. If one of the links breaks, the whole chain falls apart. And that's why following the chain and measuring progress along the way is so important, and why it can be a great diagnostic tool as well. Stage one, learn. The learning stage is where knowledge is required and potential for improvement is sparked. Stage two is remember. Retention ensures knowledge is securely stored for practical use later. The importance of this stage decreases in the short term if you move quickly from learning to practice, but it increases over time as the forgetting curve comes into play. Now, keep in mind that for things not done frequently, job aids, checklists, and worksheets can be more valuable than trying to move knowledge into long term memory. Stage three, practice. Deliberate practice turns knowledge into skill. We need to measure proficiency effectively. Aside from all the other methods mentioned in the newsletter, tech enabled simulations and the new AI driven role play bots are really game changers for practice. If you haven't explored those options, you should at least check them out. Stage four is apply. Application in the field is where training truly shines. Validating that the skills are being put to work is crucial. Stage five is master. Mastery is the culmination of the journey. Ongoing coaching and commitment to improvement are absolutely key here, as is the measurement of those. Now, think about the logic path of this chain. Just because someone learns something doesn't mean they'll remember. Just because they learn and remember doesn't mean they can actually do it. And even if they can do it, it doesn't mean they will, especially if it's something new or outside their comfort zone. And even if they learn, remember, practice, and apply what they learned, It doesn't mean they did it well enough or will continue to do it. If you, with, of course, the help of your frontline sales managers, can guide your sellers through these 5 stages, you'll get adoption and eventually mastery. And if you measure each of the stages, especially using leading indicators, if there's a breakdown somewhere, you can fix it. And lastly, when you finally do have success and results improve, you'll have data and evidence to show that you helped foster those behavior changes that drove the improvements. So, a well designed measurement strategy rooted in the 5 stages of sales mastery and behavior change is key to success. Don't forget, adoption, behavior change, and mastery are part of a bigger picture as well. This is just one aspect of a broader enablement strategy, and even just one aspect of the fuller sales training system. As I've said before, always involve stakeholders and those you'll be presenting data to in planning your analysis and how you'll report it. Well, that's it for this week, enablers. As always, stay the course and make an impact with enablement.